Friends, I want to talk to you tonight about your green garden hose. Before we can understand and appreciate our green garden hose, we must first know something of its origin and the many ways in which it has served mankind throughout the ages. The green garden hose is that most creatures originated in the sea. Along with seashells and other sea life, you will find many small pieces of garden hose embedded in the rock layers of the earth. A billion of years ago, due to great volcanic pressures, the earth was pushed upward out of the sea. The garden hoses that were stranded found it very hard to adapt to land and fresh water, so he was constantly boring in the ground, trying to find his way back to the ocean. It was through this process, my friends, that he developed the metal ring that he wears on his nose today, which enabled him to bore through solid rock. And these holes he bored are very evident along the freeways where workmen have blasted off the mountainside to build the road. These holes are bored about every 2 feet apart and either run in straight or slightly curved directions. And when the state is planning to build a new freeway, the first thing they will do is send out a group of men who are called the hole finders. These men carry long steel rods and they prod the mountainside until they find a row of holes running in the same direction as they want to put the freeway. Oh, my dear friends, what a beautiful thought. Now, caveman was the first to use and domesticate the green garden hose. He found that instead of going out and climbing trees to get vine to swing in and out of his caves, that the garden hose worked much better and was very easy to catch. All the caveman had to do was to walk out in the woods until he saw a garden hose, then sit down on the ground with his back to the hose. Thinking the caveman had not seen him, the hose would slip up and quickly wrap himself around the caveman's body. All the caveman had to do is tie the ends in a knot and walk home with the hose. Of course, this was called, in the old days, bringing home the hose. And the cave people would build a big fire, and they would form a circle, and they would sing till the wee hours in the morning the old caveman song, "Hose, say can you see?" Oh, my friends, what a beautiful thought. Thousands of years later, then, the caveman started moving out of his caves, building his own homes and raising his own gardens. And since he was having trouble with the many big droughts, this one caveman got a brilliant idea. He says, why don't we dig our furrows 50 feet long and put a garden hose in each furrow and tie the ends down, then plant the seed on top of the garden hose and cover the furrow. My friends, they did, and that year they had the most beautiful garden you have ever seen. Not only had the hose kept his garden watered, but due to being tied down like that for 3 or 4 months at a time and not able to go out, what little food he had been able to mooch from the caveman was absorbed in his skin. Now, friends, this not only turned his skin green, but turned all the ground green in the garden. And my dear friends, when these green garden hoses reproduced, their babies were also green. And it wasn't long, my dear friends, until the green garden hose outnumbered all other hoses put together. We must leave you now, friends. My wife, Peg, the 2-foot-tall midget, is having a problem reaching up for those organ notes. And we see the little men in white coats coming to get us. Good night, my dear friends, and sleep well, won't you? Now, my dear friends, my subject tonight is called Evolution of the Green Garden Hose, Part 2. Now, as far as we know, the green garden hose has never been threatened with extinction. He has always been around in great numbers, and even today you will find at least one green garden hose at every home. He will usually have one attached to an outside water faucet, and in the wintertime he will coil himself up near the house and somewhat hibernate from about the month of October through the month of March. The only time you have to be careful around your green garden hose is during the month of August. This is when they shed that metal ring on their nose and have been known to swallow human beings. I remember this one case out in Los Angeles, I believe it was, where this lady was attempting to get a drink of water from her green garden hose. When she opened her mouth, the hose saw her teeth and thought it was being attacked, so it swallowed her. But now, my friends, this is no big thing, since a green garden hose does not start digesting its food until the 4th day. You've got plenty of time. What you do, my friends, you go out and find yourself the biggest garden hose you have ever seen. Bring him home and paint red stripes up and down his back and a yellow ring around his neck, and pitch him over on the other hose and holler snake real loud. Now this will scare the hose into delivering up its prey in order to make himself lighter for the attack. Then immediately drag the person away to a safe distance. They will look like a dried up prune for a few weeks, but otherwise unharmed. I have this friend down in Nashville, Tennessee, who likes to tease his green garden hose. He sits on his front porch a lot, friends, and when he gets tired of watching his car bumpers rust, he will go out in his front yard and catch his green garden hose and wrap him around a tree and tie the ends in a bow knot. Then he gets back on his front porch and almost laughs himself to death, watching the green garden hose free himself. Oh, my friends, this is not advisable, as it will make the green garden hose very mean, and they have been known to leave home under such circumstances. A scientist out in New Mexico found that by forcing water back through the green garden hose at a tremendous rate of speed, that the green garden hose would in 1 year produce enough half-inch water pipe to go around the world 3 times. He was up for the Nobel Prize, but he was canceled out because they couldn't find anyone who wanted to go around the world on a water pipe. And they also found, my friends, that he had copied his idea from the old method of running a sausage mill backwards to manufacture pigs. Oh, my friends, what a beautiful thought. Now, I am often asked this question, are garden hoses edible? Yes, my friends, they are, but only the green ones. And when the weather is extremely cold, what you do is catch the temperatures down to at least 20 below zero. Find one that is coiled up near the house and hit him in the head with a 10-pound sledgehammer just as hard as you can. A 50-foot garden hose will fly into about 106-inch long pieces. Gather them up immediately and put them in a pot of boiling water. Cook for about an hour. Then take the links out and stuff them with Vienna sausages. Now, my friends, this is such a rare treat. I'm sure you will be inviting some friends over for dinner. There's always plenty left, and the links make beautiful blowguns. You and your friends can have great fun blowing Vienna sausage back and forth across the table at each other. And your friends are always glad to stick around and help you wash down your dining room walls and repaint. Brother George Underbrush, good day.